I don't think you're ready for this one. I haven't covered a person like this in a little while. Even I might get a little bit mad, okay? I'll admit it. You know, I saw this topic and I thought that I would cover it quickly. Today we're going to be talking about somebody who is trolling people pretending to be trans on an app. We are going to be taking a look at another writer who has decided that he wants to mess with trans people. You know, at first we had J.K. Rowling with her tweets and her rants about trans people. But this guy takes it up just a little bit more. A bigger step than J.K. Rowling. So this guy's name is Graham Cracker. It's this This dude is a transphobic piece of shit. No, but this guy's name is Graham Linehan. Graham Linehan? I don't know how to say it. Anyways, he's an Irish television writer. You know, you might know the shows Father Ted, Black Books, The IT Crowd. He's also written for Count Arthur Strong, Brass Eye, and The Fast Show. I only recently heard of this guy somewhere on the depths of the internet. And I didn't realize how long he's been talking about the trans community. It's been a while. It's probably been a few years. He ended up getting suspended off of Twitter after making multiple tweets about trans people and constantly talking about them. And take a look at this article here. Linehan's account was closed after he reportedly tweeted "Men aren't women though" in response to a post by the Women's Institute wishing their transgender members a happy pride. There were a lot of tweets on Google of his that were rude towards trans people, but I don't know if any of them are photoshopped, so I'm not even going to use them in this video. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? We'll overlook the tweets for a little bit, but he got banned for a reason, right? Now, I went to YouTube to check out if he's ever been interviewed talking about trans people, and he has been. Multiple times. Now, before I show you how big of a troll this guy is, I wanted to bring up this interview that he did with somebody.
I think this sports thing has actually been the thing that has gotten to people. Like, I think people who weren't paying attention to what was going on with all this legislation and all this trans activism, I don't really think it's about rights, but
okay, hold on, I didn't even catch that thing that she said in the beginning. Trans activism is people are trying to fight for their equality. That's what it means. Are you good?
I think there are a lot of trans people who may be going along with the mainstream view of things with a number of different expectations, false expectations of wider society that are being promoted by these ideas, like the phrase "trans women are women, get over it." You know, that's one that was in the UK. I think Stonewall came up with that one. You know, and it's like. Of course, everyone is going to be polite and courteous to another person if that person is suffering from gender dysphoria. But to ask people to break their idea of what reality means to suit someone else, it's never, ever going to happen.
It's the same straw man argument again and again and again. Nobody's trying to break the meaning of man and woman. Trans people just want to be included. I just want to be viewed as a man. You can call me a trans man too, whatever you want to call me. I'm a man. I'm a something man. I could be Spider-Man. I could be Batman. I could be trans man. And I can be man. I'm not trying to break your definition of man. What is the definition of man? Huh. Let me look at Google. An adult male human being. A human being of either sex. A person. A human being of either sex. So what's the big deal? It's a human being of either sex? All right. The court has made its decision. We're all men. All of us.
And I think that trans ideology is actually quite cruel for trans identified people because it sells a lie, right? So
that's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So gender identity ideology is telling not only adults but kids like that you can literally become the other sex and people will treat you as that sex.
We're talking about gender, not sex here, Miss Megan.
So if you decide to transition, people will see you as a girl and treat you as a girl, or see you as a woman and treat you as a woman. And it doesn't happen because most trans-identified people are not going to pass. And people are still going to perceive you as male and still treat you as such.
False.
And you go through all these torturous processes. Like those surgeries are really awful, intense surgeries that you have to go through. You go on hormones, you're sterilized, like...
False, again.
We don't even know the extent to which hormones impact people, but we know of some negative impacts on their bodies. And
False. Are you fucking kidding me?
and you come out the other end and you don't get what you were told you would get. Like, I think it's so wrong, and I think it's so cruel to sell people this lie. I mean,
we're not getting everything that we were told that we would get. Who's telling us what and what we are getting and what we're not getting? Like the doctors? So you could be thinking, you know, this guy has some good points, whatever. He got banned off of Twitter, and now he has his own blog. I don't know how long he's had the blog, whatever, he has it. He decided to download an app called Her, and it's a dating app. Not only did he download the app, but he made an account. This 52-year-old man decided to download the app Her, pretending to be trans, because it's so funny. So when you go on this blog and you check out his posts, the first post here says, "These are not lesbians." And you can read this little caption if you want to. I don't feel like reading it. But you scroll down, and it is just a bunch of trans women or non-binary people who are on this app looking to date somebody, I guess. And then he just posts them, exposes their profiles, whatever. Not too long after that, he made a post where he says, "I joined Her, looking for love in all the right places." And this is his profile, just like him making a stupid smile. And it says Graham, 29, she/her. And then he posted, "I'm a lesbian now. It's a good thing no one would ever identify as a woman for nefarious purposes. It just never happens. I'll let you know if I meet any fellow lesbians, like this cutie. Is he, like me, taking the piss? Who knows? That's the joy of self-ID. I get the point. Alright, yes, there are pros and cons of self-ID. People will troll all day long on the internet. That is literally inevitable. For example, people who don't like trans people will go out of their way, like you, like J.K. Rowling, and many others, to make fun of or belittle trans people. It's a thing that happens, but it is ridiculous to think that dating apps will never have no trolls or no catfishes. People will go on these apps to do exactly what you're doing and pretend to be trans or whatever, or pretend to be whoever. Like, there's a show called Catfish. I don't know if you know, but there's a show called Catfish, Graham, and people catfish other people, sometimes as completely different genders, completely different people from completely different countries. It happens. And I wanted to say, just because there are some trolls that could possibly be on this app who are pretending to be women or pretending to be trans women, there's no way that you can like actually filter that out. Like, they're not, like, the app isn't going to create like a medical form and say like who is your gender therapist and who is your doctor and all of this stuff. They can simply just ignore and scroll past and go to the next person. I just feel like it's really impossible to filter out anybody who is faking their identities or just catfishing in general. It happens everywhere on the internet. That is the joy of the internet, you know? And also, just because someone doesn't pass 1,000% doesn't mean that they aren't trans. But I think it's just so stupid to take this next step forward to mock trans people. Like, if you could just talk about it like an intellectual and give your opinions, you know, go ahead, do it all day. You have free speech. But when you stoop this low, your arguments are all defeated. So then after joining Her, he updated his profile on Her, right? And then I don't know who photoshopped this shit, but take a look at that, you know, beautiful, sexy, right? And then they photoshopped the little pins right here. Ask me about my pronouns. I heart lesbian tongues. So in this caption, he says, loves cuddles, furry/adult baby, grew up with porn, Reddit moderator, looking for girly sleepovers/pillow fights, has own van, subscribe to my OnlyFans, no kink shamers. Okay, maybe kink shamers. You know, for a writer of a lot of successful shows, this caption, all getting offended aside, is just genuinely not funny. I have heard trans jokes and laughed out loud, but this doesn't do it for me. After that happened, the Her app tweeted this. I'll read it to you. Let's make this clear. Her is an app for all women and queer folks. It is not our nor anybody else's place to question or invalidate another's identity. We are here for all women, including the trans community. Please be assured this user will be found and removed from our platform. Additionally, we're in contact with Substack to have this dangerous act of transphobia removed from our screens. So they took him off the app, and then under his blog he said, as a lesbian and queer person, which now means straight, I'm appalled at this attempt to invalidate my identity. To be serious for a second, I'm not just doing this for the laugh. I'm doing this to demonstrate that it's impossible to tell the difference between men and self-identifying trans women. I'm doing it to expose an ideology that is homophobic, misogynistic, and puts women and girls in danger. There is no difference between me and the other men on this site. If I'm mistaken, I'm happy to educate it as why. You know, it's always the attack on trans women. Why is there not a blog about trans men? And just because this could be happening on these apps doesn't mean we should be shaming trans people who don't pass as well as other trans people. We should be shaming the trolls and the people who are actually problematic. And Graham's profile actually got taken down multiple times, so his point gets kind of contradicted because he's saying that he can go on this app and pretend to be a woman and pretend to be trans, but then he gets banned because they know that he's not actually trans or a woman. So what? Now for this last blog post, he's updated his her profile again. I wasn't getting any matches, so I went for the Jamie Windust. Alright, new profile. Space Overlord. On date, will need you to pay for my taxi so builders don't make fun of me. Magical new type of human and certainly not a bog standard electrogoth. Raising money for sedan chair. Polyamorous as will need third person to help carry sedan chair. I don't know what the fuck that means. Everybody knows you're a troll. And it's not that funny. You've done it like 3 times. We get it. We understand the point. Alright, and that's all I have for this video. So if you were wondering if transphobes are still out there being just as worse as ever, they are. They are. And I've got plenty more videos to come. Anyways, with all of that being said, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment if you want to. I'm gonna go now. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in a few days with a new video.